this is one of the big things, I think, for Jake Maier with an Ottawa team that, you know, has struggled, obviously, the last couple of seasons. And I don't want to call it a rebuild because it's not necessarily that in terms of personnel, but a team that is trying to climb its way back to the top. I think Jake Maier's even-keel personality will serve them well.
Grant on the return. Stopped just short of the 30.
We've seen Maier under pressure a few times early in this ball game, but they made a couple of plays versus that pressure that time, getting pretty good protection, allowing him time for the route to develop. You see the accuracy of the throw that results.
Already had some pretty good weapons. If Eberhardt can continue to develop, Jake's going to have no shortage of guys to throw the ball to. Kelly, quick completion. He's a perfect 6 for 6 to start this game as he goes back to Mackay Polk.
Well, quarterback play, certainly one of the stories of the first few weeks of this young season, Dustin.
4 guys on the plus side of 400 yards last week. 2nd and 3 here for Kelly. He was one of them. Right over the middle. Gunned it in there. Vital hung on. And it's close to a first down.
Just going to see Vital. Sees his quarterback on the move. He's just trying to work to an open spot, get in Kelly's line of vision after sitting it down initially, coming off the line.
Had just enough. They'll give him a fresh set of downs on the Toronto 39. Kelly on the run to his right, wants to go deep, heaves one down the field. Got it just inside the 25 as he finds Ungerer. And Kelly with a big-time completion.
Well, we thought with a lot of success in the quick game early that they were going to try and open up something deep, just a matter of time. Kelly airs this one out. You see him waving it deep, putting everything he's got into that one. Nice adjustment by Dave Ungerer to come underneath and get this one.
Good for 47 yards into the waiting arms of Ungerer. Kelly gets it away. End zone touchdown. Coxie, it's first of the season, and the Argos strike again.
Maybe everybody should take 580 days off between games.
If this is what happens, yeah.
Chad Kelly on fire to start this 2026 season. Coxie out wide on this one, the one receiver. Just beat the defender clearly. Untouched off the release.
Tamara Houston just sort of stood there.
Yeah.
So Ottawa gets on the board. The Argos, though, waste no time. Deep shot to Ungerer, and then a 24-yard touchdown pass to Demonte Coxie. Coxie and Polk last week targeted 19 times, only caught 6 of them. They both have touchdowns so far this afternoon.
Coxie, one of the most prolific receivers in the Canadian Football League over the last couple of seasons. Terrific chemistry with his quarterback, Chad Kelly.
What's up, Kai? Malachi Zing.
Averaged just over 85 yards per game in the 10 that he played last season.
That's what I'm fucking talking about, man. Let's go!
Oh, you mix in Ungerer with Vital and Polk and Coxie. Chad Kelly, could have a pretty big season lined up for Toronto. There's what Coxie did last year. Its full season would have projected out to 86 catches, over 1,500 yards, and 11 touchdowns.
Yeah. Yeah, not bad. A threat at any time to go the distance. A guy with
came in at number 43 on our TSN top 50. Might have been a little low. I
was going to say, I don't want to criticize the top 50 because I refuse to vote on the top 50.
You can do that?
But
a return just outside the 40.
But yeah, that was too low. Yeah. Take a look at the most recent Toronto Argonauts scoring drive. Kevin Mittal working underneath, and the ball to Dave Ungerer, who goes and gets it. And it's almost as if before the Red Blacks D has a chance to get their feet back under themselves. It's that quick strike to Coxie in the end zone.
How's that for a start? 9 of 9 for 128. Couple of majors. Jake Mayer bouncing around the pocket. You know, they bright red numbers. That's how you do it.
Now, I do want to say to Ches and Milt back in the studio, I really wanted to put my jersey on. All right, but you know, Dustin and Kenzie, they're Team Enoch apparently. No jerseys, so I just went with the consensus.
Right, here's what happens: somebody screen caps us, and then all of a sudden we get accused of being biased. Look at these guys; they're wearing Ottawa jersey, but nice looking jersey, and they look pretty good from up here in the booth as well. That one over the head of Eberhardt, and that'll be incomplete. Dinwiddie not happy with this latest drive, that's for sure.
A couple of young veterans. Eberhardt working against Benji Franklin out there on the boundary side.
Looks as though we've got an Argo down on the field. Priester. He was here in Ottawa last year. Had a couple of interceptions, 27 tackles. A tackle and a knockdown in the season opener last week for Toronto, and we are going to step away as they take a look at the right leg of Priester.
A little bit.
Brent will take this punt at the 30, and he's hammered down after a short return. Kevin Mittal, how about the season he put together in 2025? 6th on the all-time Argos list.
And with some pretty good names joining him on that list. I remember that Mookie Mitchell showcase in 1998.
160.
Yeah, unreal. But yeah, Mittal in just his second year last year out of Laval.
On the ground, Niles Morgan. All over Sam Hicks. 4th tackle of the game for Morgan.
Yeah, number 1 Morgan, left side of your screen, just shoots that gap, and then you see the dogged pursuit of the running back.
Morgan averaging 6 tackles per game in his career, behind only Solomon Elimimian and Sankey on the all-time list. And now with some pressure, Kelly gets hammered down. Aiden John all over him, and there's the flag on the field.
Yeah, Argo's trying to set up a screen here, but keep an eye on the hit coming from the defensive right side. Aiden John comes around the edge, gets that left arm up a little high, just under the face mask.
Intentional grounding, Toronto number 12. second.
All right, so they call the intentional ground. It did look like the arm was up right around the neck.
Well, yeah, and that's what I assumed the flag was. Interesting to me is it looked like the Argos were trying to set up they had a bubble screen look to the right, but then it still looked like they had the running back going the other way. In terms of the intentional grounding call, I thought that there was a receiver there, but.
So 3rd and 23. Haggerty will have to let her fly again. Pimpleton will take it at the 30. Back to the 40. Little bit of space to the 50.
Black and gold last year.
62 catches for 426 yards. And they'll go on the ground to midfield here with Bell. When you look at this offense around Jake Maier, you really have all the pieces, right? You got a 1,000-yard running back, and then you've got Gino Lewis, who we haven't seen yet in this game. Justin Hardy, 1,000 yards again last season. Pimpleton, field stretcher as well. And then there's a lot of potential with White. And we already saw Eberhardt find the end zone here.
Yeah.
So offense should not be a problem, you would think.
Yeah, great at the skill positions, solidifying that offensive line with some offseason moves.
Maier down the field. Eberhardt, he's hammered, but he hangs on. He got popped just outside the 30. But he maintained possession. What a start to this game for Eberhardt.
Yeah, I love the concentration here from Aiden Eberhardt. He knows as that ball's hanging up there that he's kind of going into the teeth of the defense. He's going to take a hit, but tremendous concentration on the football to go up and high point it and bring it home.
23 more yards for Maier. This one broken up. He was looking for White. Let's take another look at that last play.
Eberhardt going airborne. He knows he's fully exposed as the defenders are closing on him. Still goes up, catches it in his hands. You see him immediately bring it to his body. Secure the football for a big Red Blacks completion.
That was McFadden with the hit. Now we've got a challenge. Looks as though Dinwiddie wants pass interference on that last target to Keelan White.
Ottawa is challenging the previous play for defensive pass interference. The play will be reviewed.
Full speed, thought maybe it was a little bit early, but we'll give you some looks at it here.
Get a sense of the timing. There's contact as the ball is en route. The Caesar kind of coming through the receiver. Trying to get a hand on that football. I think that arm sort of wrapped around the shoulders.
You can see why Dinwiddie would have thrown the challenge flag on this
absolutely.
one.
On that one.
You got a pretty clear look at what this is going to be. Should be a successful challenge, but Caesars had quite the start. 6 tackles last week, forced a fumble, had a knockdown, interception in this game already. Let's get the ruling.
Upon review, defensive pass interference against Ottawa number 28. The ball will be placed at the 15-yard line. Automatic first down.
Drive continues on the challenge from Dinwiddie. And now they'll work from the Toronto 15. 4 options out to the left for Jake Maier. He's going to hand it off to Bell. Bell, spin move. Takes it down close to the 10, and it'll be second and manageable here for the Red Blacks offense.
Yeah, Greg Bell doing a pretty good job. A little bit of a cut back there, that spin to the inside as he really presses the point of attack, gets the defenders flowing a little bit as they overcommit. He bounces it back north-south for a nice little first down gain.
Picked up 4 yards, 2nd and 6 for Mayer. Hardy and Gino up to his right. Mayer waits. There's a flag on the far side. This is batted down at the line of scrimmage. But there's a flag sitting at the 5-yard line.
Offensive offside, Ottawa number 2. That penalty is declined. It will be 3rd down.
As Justin Hardy jumped the gun.
Cam Judge, always something of a stats machine, whether it's been in Saskatchewan, Calgary, or Toronto. Second go around for him with the Argos.
Most outstanding defensive player on the Argos last year. 18-yard attempts for Lawther to make it a 4-point game. Toronto gets the ball back on their 40. Kelly 9 of 9 so far in the game. Now drops this one over the top. Great touch. And they're inside the 40 as he goes back to Kevin Mittal.
Well, these two made it look easy as Kelly just sort of began his scramble. You see him start to his left and step up. Recognizes that Mittal has a step on his defender and just drifts it up there. Lets Mittal run under it. 33
more yards. To Mittal. Now he's pressured and he'll be taken down. They finally got home. Aiden John with the sack.
See Aiden John coming from the top of your screen. Just a nice redirect there as he runs the tackle upfield. Cuts back underneath to make a play on the quarterback.
Kelly sacked just once in Montreal last week. First time he's been sacked here today. Sets up a 2nd and 17. He'll have 3 receivers to his wide side right. Looks over the middle, bouncing around the pocket again on the run to his right. And he's got a man held on to, and that should be enough for a 1st down at the 25 as Kelly will pick himself back up off the turf once again.
That's Aiden John. Delivers the hit on Chad Kelly. 93 White, a little bit of a nemesis for the Argos quarterback here in the 2nd quarter.
Rough ride on this drive for Kelly. Finds Copsey on that one. Now they will give it to Hicks. Hicks kicks it to the outside. Cuts it in at the 10. And they will take him down. But another 1st down for the Argos as the offense marches on with 17 more.
Yeah, nice bounce to the outside here from Hicks. A little lateral step as he gets things closing down in the middle. We get a little bit of a feel for his speed, taking that to the outside. Nice block by, I believe it was David Ungerer on the outside.
And another tackle by Niles Morgan. 1st and goal from the Red Black 8s. Kelly steps up, pitches it off. And a short gain on that one as he goes to his running back, Sam Hicks.
2nd down.
Ottawa getting pressure at times on Chad Kelly, but Kelly's poised. A guy who's been around, obviously stint in the National Football League before joining the Argos. MOP season here with Toronto.
From the 7, tight window, has a completion. Tyler Commons' first catch of the ball game. And now Chad Kelly will work from the 2. They'll move quickly here. Kelly steps up under center, pushing ahead. Can he find a lane? No! Driven back, ball pops out, whistle blows.
Face mask, perhaps, that led to his helmet being pulled off, but officials in position felt otherwise. The Red Blacks ball.
Drive will start on their 1. On the ground they go. And Bell able to push it ahead, maybe a yard on the play. They might give him 2. They'll give him 1, and it'll be 2nd and 9 from the 2.
Yeah, just desperately trying to get a little bit of breathing room here, obviously starting in their own end. Now you get in a tough position. 2nd and long from this situation is, you know, you think of it as a passing down. Obviously you worry about dropping back from the point of risking giving up a safety, but also the goalpost limit which side where you can go with a throw, right? So you're kind of playing with half the field here.
Argos send 4. Jake Mayer lays one out near side. First time today we've seen that man. Gino Lewis, the officials will discuss. And Gino hauls it in.
Yeah, Mayer just lays it up. Bread and butter territory for Gino Lewis. A bang-bang play along the sidelines.
Mayer quickly out to the 35, back to Eberhardt.
A big 2nd down conversion there for Gino Lewis to give the Red Blacks a chance.
He's one of those guys that makes that catch and you're not even blown away because
Yeah.
he just made so many of them.
Yeah, he has kind of owned the sidelines over the course of his career.
Just another day at the office for Lewis. His first catch of the game is a big one. It went for 29. Now it's a 2nd and 5 on their own 36. Mayer was looking for Whites. D'Arcangelo was there, and he broke it up.
Isaac D'Arcangelo worked his way into a full-time role in that Argos linebacking core last year. That grows even more with Winton McManus having moved down the highway, opening up that middle linebacker spot.
Ottawa will have to punt it away, but they did manage to give themselves some breathing room. And that ball will bounce out. Well, the fun continues as Super Saturday rolls on here with the triple header, Alouettes and Elks. The battle of the unbeatens coming at you from Commonwealth in Edmonton, where I believe it's raining heavily today. And then the Roughriders and the Stampeders. Looking forward to that one as well to wrap the triple header later on tonight. From Calgary, the defending champs finding a way to get it done against BC last week. An ice cream day here in Ottawa. Where's ours?
I was going to say, it's always ice cream day.
Here's Kelly over the middle, and that's intercepted. Red Blacks will take it away. Alonzo Adai, thank you very much.
Well, being bold, throwing the ball with confidence, ripping it into tight space is a big part of Chad Kelly's game. But here he may overreaches trying to force that one down the middle. You see how many white jerseys were surrounding Kevin Mittal in this situation. Alonzo Adai, the safety. Red Blacks so happy to have this guy back in the lineup.
Hey, baby boy. Hey, baby girl. I see.
4 minutes left in the half. Jake Mayer gets the ball on his own 47 after the Kelly interception. Chad threw one last week against Montreal, and he's thrown another one here also at midfield, similar to the play from last Friday night.
You know, Lewis working from outside. This time set up the hitch, try and get the convoy in front of him. Argo defense doing a nice job in pursuit. See Gino's career numbers tops among active players in terms of yards.
Mayer down the field, almost returned the favor the other way, trying to find Eberhardt. Caesar all over him. And it'll be 3rd and 6, and they'll be forced to kick it away.
Hey, go petrol him.
Well, coming off the goal line stand and turnover. You know, the Ottawa REDBLACKS doing very well, quite frankly, just to get the yardage they got and not just hand it back to the Argos, punt it back to the Argos out of their own end zone, give them a short field. So no points, but a successful drive nonetheless.
Grant takes it at the 20. Flag does fly for the no yards there. And we've hit the 3-minute warning at TD Place in Ottawa. It's the Argos with a 14-10 lead on the red. Toronto starts on their own 35 on the ground. Couple of yards at best as they go back to Hicks, his 7th carry of the ball game. He's got some good burst to him, though.
Yeah, definitely shown flashes again. The ground game, not a strength for the Toronto Argonauts a year ago. So the offseason sees a couple of tweaks to the offensive line and some brand new faces in the backfield.
Pressure in his face. Looked like that was batted down. Raided the line, and it falls incomplete.
And you had the linebacker, C.J. Rivas, blitzing there. Isaiah Smith in protection was working his way over to get to him, but just not in time to get the hands down.
Another one of those big pickups in the offseason. Haggerty will kick it away once more. Low kick this time, takes a bounce, gets right past Pimpleton. Now he's got to go after it. And that'll bounce right into the end zone. And Pimpleton is going to take it out. Like he was setting up to take the knee there.
Yeah, and first of all, I love the kick because the end-over-end thing, this is something Haggerty does on purpose to get the roll, get the ball on the ground, and get that roll. Backs Pimpleton up. But again, CFL game is such a game of field position that in this instance,
well, and that's not a guy who's in his first game returning. But those guys should know too. Well, that's an interesting decision from a guy who's been returning kicks in this league for a couple of years.
Sort of see, I think, the surprise from veteran special teams coordinator Jeff Reinbold.
So this drive will start on the 4. Eberhardt's got it, pushes it ahead. He's got a first down with just over 2 minutes on the clock. That'll go for 15.
Eberhardt. You know, so many of the balls at BC were going to go to Justin McInnes. We're going to go to Keon Hatcher. Eberhardt made a number of big plays last year, certainly kind of announced his arrival to the league, so to speak, but I think Ottawa envisions a bigger share of the pie for him here.
Well, and he's getting it today. He's been targeted 7 times. Hardy, Lewis, Pimpleton combined have only been targeted 5, so they're definitely looking in the direction of Aiden Eberhardt out of Wyoming.
Again, another one of those significant free agent acquisitions in the offseason.
They were busy, weren't they?
They were.
Well, that's what happens when you struggle the way they did last year. Just 4 wins. New coach and a bunch of new faces. 2nd and 6 on the 23 for Mayer. Argos only send 3. Jake's got some time. Still pressure though, and he's going to be taken down. 3-man rush. Still gets home. Ojo's got his first of the season.
Jeremiah Ojo, first-round pick for the Toronto Argonauts last season from the Montreal Carabins. program. Very athletic defensive end, getting a little more time in that D-line rotation after contributing primarily on special teams last year.
27.
Edmonton from his 5. That's a good kick. It's going to bend back. Janarian Grant up. He's going to try to bounce it back, though. Finds a 50. And he gets right to midfield. Nice return there from Grant. Now you think at least a field goal attempt in the cards here for Haralahu. Probably have to get to about the 49 to get into his range. He was 3 of 5 last week after going 89% last year. Kelly, and that's broken up. Played well, and Brown reaches over the top and bats it away.
Yeah, terrific break to the football here by Shakur Brown. And flag down. Wonder if upon review, but for Brown coming off the corner, top defender on your screen.
Toronto is challenging the previous play for defensive pass interference. The play will be reviewed.
It's kind of similar to the one we saw the other way. Got there a little bit early, contact as you're reaching through to try to get the ball.
Yeah, I felt like maybe a little less contact and a little better timed was this play by Brown, but tough to say. So we'll get another look here. Oh, that left arm, you're
grabbed the shoulder,
right.
didn't he?
Yeah, same thing.
Grabbed the shoulder and reached over the top. From what we saw earlier, you'd have to think that this one is probably going to be a successful challenge. Don't want to jump the gun, but we'll give you another look at it. You can decide for yourself at home.
Yeah, top of your screen. Brown coming downhill. The slow motion replay probably doesn't do the defender a favor in this case.
You know, if he doesn't grab the shoulder, if he just jumps around him, it's a clean play, but he sort of grabbed the left shoulder to propel himself around. Yeah.
Yes. Defense attorney would look to suppress that evidence.
Upon review, there was defensive pass interference on Ottawa number 9, a 10-yard penalty, automatic first down.
These two friends and head coach going back and forth on the challenges. Anything you can do, I can also do, and that's what was accomplished there by Mike Miller. Keeps the drive moving on the Ottawa 45, 69 seconds left in the half. Kelly gets this one away, and that falls incomplete.
Another one where he takes a shot as he tries to step into that throw.
They've been getting there, haven't they?
They have. It seems here in the second quarter, the heat getting turned up a little bit. On Chad Kelly.
A 2nd and 10 for the Argos. Flags here. A receiver was early. Common's got it, but I believe he's the one who's going to be flagged on the play. Had 106 yards last week.
Offside. Toronto number 82, 5-yard penalty. We're going to replay 2nd down.
It is Tyler Common.
You can see Common working out of the slot. But a little bit early. Clear in the line of scrimmage.
Had had 6 catches last week, a touchdown as well in his CFL debut. Like that one back. And it's 2nd and 15 for Kelly. Inside a minute on the clock here in the second quarter. And he'll dump it out to Isaiah Smith. Smith pushes it ahead, stays on his feet, and he rumbles down for a first down close to the 30 on his first touch of the game, and goes for 20 yards.
Yeah, Smith, the rookie, starts off in that backfield, swinging out to your right. Nice job sidestepping that first would-be tackler in C.J. Rivas. North-South second-round pick out of the University of Guelph.
11th overall.
Yeah.
Kelly drops it in there at the 10. He went right back to Common, and he's got this one.
Common lining up as a slot to the wide field. Here, lots of room to work. See the halfback bailing to go get over top on the outside route.
First and goal from the 9. Touchdown, Toronto! Right back to Tyler Common, and he's got his 2nd touchdown of the year, and a backbreaker late here in the half.
The thought running through my mind as we see the impact of Common here early in this 2026 season.
Huge, nice job.
Just about the depth of this Toronto Argonaut receiving corps. Considering that Jake Herslow hasn't even been in the lineup yet. Touchdown, Jake.
Well, and you look at the depth, you go, oh, he's the number 5 guy. But he's got 2 touchdowns already. Over 100 yards last week. This one's knocked through, and the lead is in the preseason to get him this involved this early.
Yeah, no question. You know, it's so important, the offseason work. When you think about a guy coming in partway through last season, you know, I mean, one of the things that stands out to me about today's CFL is how training camps have evolved. It's a short time, not a lot of reps, not a lot of live reps in particular, that you got to make the most of them to, as a new face, to earn an opportunity early in the season.
Pimpleton takes it just inside the 10. And he is going to be stopped at the 35 with 27 seconds on the clock. Gauthier with the special teams tackle. There's another look at that drive.
Yeah, 3rd Argonauts touchdown drive of the ball game.
Great play by Smith there.
Yeah, getting some contributions from some of their young guys. No question. You expect to see Polk, you expect to see Coxie, obviously, but Isaiah Smith, Tyler Common figuring prominently in that last one.
6 plays, 55 yards, 40 seconds. Back to Eberhardt. Again, when you talk about early season connections, looks like Jake Mayer has one with the former BC Lion. That goes for 13. Five catches for Eberhardt. Argo sent 4. Mayer has it batted down right at the line as that Toronto front pushing their way through.
Yeah, keep an eye up at the defensive left side. Andrew Chatfield, who got off to such a blistering start as a pass rusher last year in this Argo D. Makes his way to get a hand on that one, creating a tough situation here for Mayer and the Red Blacks.
2nd and 10 as time ticks down in the half. Mayer, pressure coming again, gets it away, and it's all down inside the 45 as he goes back to Eberhardt again.
Nice job, credit the offensive line to give Jake Mayer that kind of protection, give him the time he needs. for that route to Eberhardt to develop.
So Lothar onto the field, made from 18 earlier. This will be from 49 to put some points on the board at the end of the half. Almost a decade with the Riders. Lothar up and through. And a big completion to Eberhardt. Sets up a field goal from Lothar. Something to build on late there for the Red Blacks.
Yeah, strong finish. We've seen a little bit of adversity for Ottawa, particularly just the way Toronto keeps coming at them, but responding well to stick around and stay within a score in this ball game, pulling to within 8 with that Brett Lothar field goal.
DeMonte Coxie, just 19 yards last week, only a couple of catches. He's got 2 catches, 43 yards, and a touchdown already here in the first half. His quarterback, 237 and 3 touchdowns as well. And Coxie standing by with Kenzie Lalonde.
Well, DeMonte, we go back to last week, and at times the offense felt disconnected. This week, since the opening drive, very much in unison. What changed?
Nothing changed. We just came to work this week again, prepared and, made sure we had everything going for this week.
You look at the depth of the receivers the Argos have this year, 3 different guys, 3 different touchdowns. How can this group use it to their advantage this season?
We just got to keep coming out, practicing every day. And whenever we at the game, we got to make sure what happened at practice translates to the game, And once, Coach been keeping us all, keeping our heads in check, so it's been smooth.
Best luck the rest of the way.
Thank you, thank you.
Laura, over to you.
So a strong drive there for the Argos to go up by 10, but hang on, because it was Brett Lothar with that late field goal. We've got an 8-point ball game at the half between these Ontario provincial rivals, as we were back again with Laura, Enoch, Davis, and Milt. So Chad Kelly, we were wondering how much rust were we going to see from this guy. Again, hadn't played previous to last week since November of 2024, breaking his leg in the Eastern Final. He had 3 touchdowns in that game. Milty's got 3 touchdowns in the first half, and as we heard from Kenzie and Coxie there, spreading the ball around as well.
Yeah, and I think it's safe to say Chad Kelly is maybe one of the most polarizing players in this league. But regardless, if you like him or not, you have to respect this man when he steps on the football field. You have to respect him even more because of the fact, leading up to last week, it was almost 600 days since he last stepped on the football field. And you would never know that by the way he's playing. He's truly an amazing player. One of the best quarterbacks, and he's a receiver's dream because he's tough. He's going to stand in the pocket till the last second. He gives you time to get open. Even when the offensive line is struggling, Chad Kelly is that guy who can make those plays. So they're very fortunate to have this man on the field. If he can stay healthy, and I mentioned this, if he can stay healthy and if he continue playing like this, the sky's the limit for what this team can do. You look at what he's done in the first 6 quarters. This is amazing. Like I said, this is a guy who missed almost 600 days before he last stepped on the field, and you would never know it based on his performance. So these Argos are in a good position. I just mentioned that he is getting some pressure, so they want to protect him because I don't care how tough you are. You can't continue taking those hits, but it's been truly spectacular what they've been able to do with Chad Kelly.
Yeah, Coach Miller's definitely held his breath a few times when Chad Kelly was getting hit. But, you said it, Mill. He always gives them a chance. But I was impressed with this Ottawa defense. Apart from maybe the first and last drive of this first half, this team came to play. They were playing a great brand of football, extremely physical. You look here, it starts with Niles Morgan. He looks like he wants to win. He looks like he really wants to tackle. Look at the way he seeks and destroys. That's the mentality you want to have as a linebacker, Chaz.
Absolutely.
He's coming to tackle and play real hard ball. Then you look at Aiden John right here. He's over here. He's the one that got to Chad Kelly a few times. I mean, they're stopping him at the goal line. They really came to play, and they really want to give this team a chance to win this game. And obviously, they got to do a little bit more of that. You disrupt Chad Kelly, you're going to get a chance to get your hands on the ball. Alonzo Adai makes no mistake on that. You look at this defense right now. If they continue to play the way that they are, specifically Niles Morgan, 6 tackles already. He is a tackling machine. He can impact this team.
I've been impressed with this defense. I think we all have Ottawa's defense because, to your point, Milt, this is an offense with Chad and that receiving core. This is a really good offense, and this Ottawa defense, they're getting pressure. Only sacked him once, but they are hitting him. They've probably hit Chad a handful of times, and all the times they're hitting him, it's going to add up also. Right. And so they can win this game. Ottawa has a real shot to win this game. They're moving the ball. If they can turn Toronto over, which, I mean, they're forcing Chad to throw in tight windows. They're hitting him. If they can turn him over, this offense is moving the ball. I liked what Ryan Dinwiddie is doing with Jake. We wondered how Jake will come out. I thought he's been pretty good. The numbers aren't, off the charts, but I thought he had some timing. That was good timing there to Hardy. You looked at some of the stuff he had. This was a great throw, the touchdown to Eberhardt, who seems to be, becoming his guy. I thought this was a great throw, a timing throw versus blitz. You saw he got connected with Gino as well. He's getting the ball out. RD's done a great job of calling this game. On the flip side, when you look at the matchup a little bit between the two former coaches and colleagues and offensive mind, I have not loved what I've seen from the Toronto offense. I think that most of what they've done, not that I don't like the playmaking, most of what they've done is off of Chad's talent.
Off
big, like
plays,
200-something yards, 140 of it off big plays. I haven't seen a ton of rhythm in the Toronto offense. Most of it's coming off of Chad making big plays. So I think check mark to Ryan Dinwiddie right now when it comes to offense and play calling in the first half.
We weren't really sure what we were going to see from this Red Blacks team considering week 1 and that wet, windy weather that they had in Ottawa. They lost the turnover battle in that one 4-0. They've got it 2-1 here over the Argos and within striking distance, just down 8 at the break.
They lead 21-13 as we are underway. Second half, game 1, triple header. Super Saturday here on TSN. Grant takes it, assesses the situation. Now he finds a little bit of space, pushes it ahead, and takes it out beyond the Toronto 45. Here's a look at Chad Kelly in the first half of the ball game.
Well, Chad Kelly wasted no time in this one. Toronto Argonauts off a turnover, throws the touchdown pass. First to Polk, follows that up on the next possession. Hitting DeMonte Coxey. Tyler Common in for his second major of the season in the second quarter.
Kelly, deep shot, early, drops it in there, held on to down inside the 10. What a start, it's Mittal, he's got another one.
Well, I'll tell you what I absolutely love about this play is you think about Kevin Mittal last season, over 100 catches, so many of them were bubble screens and things like that, close to getting him the ball close to the line of scrimmage. But this guy, in his college career, yeah, he could do all that stuff, but a great deep threat as well, and he came back this season knowing that that was what he wanted to do more of in the Canadian Football League, catching some people off guard in the early part of the season. Huge play.
56 yards. Now on the ground, up the middle. And the Red Blacks will stop Hicks before he can find the end zone for the first time in his CFL career. Kelly's at 293 yards already. At the half, he was on pace for 474, which would be a career high. And then he just tacked on 56 more to Mittal.
A reminder, as we talked about earlier, 2 of the top 3 passing games in terms of yardage in Chad Kelly's career have been against the Ottawa REDBLACKS.
And Red Blacks fans hate this guy. Second and goal from the 2. And that one stopped for a loss. Nowhere to go the moment he touched the ball for Sam Hicks.
Well, we saw the REDBLACKS with a big goal line stand in the second quarter of this ball game. This is another rather massive defensive play backed up in their own end. This Ottawa D, CJ Rivas, one of the several former Saskatchewan Roughriders on that REDBLACKS D, coming up with the tackle there.
Just a 12-yard field goal. Haralahu, never going to miss that one, puts it through. A big pass.
Himself here perhaps in the early going. You want to have a situation where anybody could be that guy on a given day, but I think Aiden Eberhardt with a new starting quarterback here in Jake Mayer figures the role of go-to guy is up for grabs, and he has put his hand up to volunteer in a big way here.
One of the other new pieces, Greg Bell, that's his 7th carry of the game. Just 15 yards so far, so Ottawa not able to get anything going with the ground attack. so far here today, but Eberhardt certainly clicking through the air. 2nd and 8 for Mayer. 3 options out to his right. Looks to his left, throws in that direction. And at midfield, he's got a completion. It's Justin Hardy. Just his 2nd catch of the game, goes for 14 yards.
Well, the veteran, Mr. Reliable Justin Hardy. Good security blanket there, as you see Mayer kind of doing a quick run through his progressions before finding Hardy underneath.
Fresh set of downs, back on the ground, and Bell crushed on the play by a Darius Pickett. Here's some of the fine work of Justin Hardy during his Red Blacks career.
Yeah, working on climbing that list. A little bit of a gap to the next guy up, and Greg Ellingson. Ellingson, of course, part of the Red Blacks Grey Cup Championship.
It'll be a 2nd and 10 for Mayer this time. Smack dab right at midfield. Bell flares out to his left. Mayer's going to go down the field, lays it out. There's a flag. It's intercepted. A flag on the field. It was taken away by Ethan John. His first career interception. We'll have to pick up what this flag was, though.
Ethan John into the game at safety in place of the injured Robert Priester.
Priester left with a non-contact injury in the first half. So John has slid into that spot. Still no word on the play, or on the penalty, I should say. Could be that contact there on Hardy from James Caesar, which would take the INT off the board.
Defensive pass interference, Toronto number 28. The infraction occurred at the 38-yard line. The ball will be placed, automatic first down.
You're going to see Hardy coming out of the slot here, bottom of your screen. It's the number 2 receiver, and it's just that in and up, the double move catches Caesar a little bit. He makes contact, impeding him ever so slightly.
Jake Mayer saw it, didn't he?
He did.
Right away.
Yeah.
Bell, nice cut. Would have been a tackle for a loss, but he's able to open up a little bit of room. Finds a couple of yards on first down.
Yeah, Bell changed directions on a dime on that one. Again, just getting the defense to flow front side on the play. Sticks his foot in the ground. Turns it back in.
2nd and 8 for Mayer. He's 12 and 19, 169 yards, touchdown, and interception way back on Ottawa's first possession of the ball game. Argo send 5, and they're going to get home, and they take him down. Mayer punished on the play by Jonathan Kongbo.
Jonathan Kongbo. You know, I talked a little bit earlier about the creativity exercised by the Toronto Argonauts in free agency this year. And, you know, at a glance, you may think, you know, didn't necessarily do a ton in free agency when you look at the list of free agents of guys who played in the league last year. But you get Shepley and Hawley coming back from the NFL. You get a guy like Kongbo, who I think has flown under the radar.
51-yard attempt is
high numbers last season, so he wants to show that that catch and those numbers last year weren't a one-off.
almost 900 yards last year, and I think you can say the consistency and the reliability is certainly going to be there.
Yeah, I think that he has established that. Obviously looking to expand his game, right? He had a fairly specific role within the Argos offense last season, but now third year. You know, I think third year is often kind of a big turning point year, growth year for a lot of players. Kevin Mittal obviously took a big jump in year 2, but I think that there is still more to the game for this former Heck Crichton winner.
123 yards already today. Kelly finds his running back, who will find midfield and go beyond as they go through the air to get Hicks involved a little bit more. It's his third catch of the game, goes for 14 yards.
Yeah, Hicks just escaping from the backfield here. Free release, little circle route. And the Argos, you know, with Chad Kelly, we've talked a lot about the pressure since the second quarter of this football game. So let Chad Kelly get a play where he's able to get that ball out of his hands quickly and maybe change up the maybe awareness level, so to speak, of that defensive line, that they can't just pin their ears back, keep them honest.
Kelly's got his 10th 300-yard game, and we're only midway through the third quarter. Hicks is up. He was down momentarily, bounces back up. Isaiah Smith into the game at running back. Smith had a great play earlier, 20-yard catch. Kelly, what a gun, and he finds Polk down inside the 30, and it looks like Alonzo Adai got the worst end of that collision.
Yeah, both guys kind of crumpled after this one, but Kelly standing in. Nice timing between quarterback and receiver. Get that completion. A little bit of a car crash in the middle of the field there between Polk and Adai.
Ottawa's bench, 10-yard penalty enforced from the end of the run, and a first down.
Objectionable conduct on the Ottawa sideline. We'll move that ball even further up the field. Be a 35-yard swing after you tack on the penalty.
Oh, veteran Scott Hutter out of Wilfrid Laurier on in place of Adai at safety.
Back in the red zone go the Argos once more. Leading 24-16, first and 10 from the 17. Kelly to his right, end zone shot, got it again! Touchdown Toronto! This time it's Ungerer, and Kelly's thrown 4.
Well, we've seen Polk, we've seen Coxie, we've seen Common with touchdown catches in the first half of this ball game. It was just Dave Ungerer's turn to get one. Ungerer does a nice job, not the biggest guy, but goes up, does a good job protecting the football. Strong catch with contact coming from the defender to pull that one in. A guy who's just gotten better and better since moving over to Toronto from Hamilton in free agency. Career high for him in terms of yardage in 2025.
Priester walking off the field with the crutches and that right leg in a walking boot. So not a sight Argos fans want to see at this point in the season, as we'll continue to watch how they backfill him over the course of the second half.
Thank you for the updates, Kenzie. Ethan John has filled those shoes so far. Here's Pimpleton. Spark from him would go a long way right now for this Ottawa club. Not going to happen. He'll find the 35, and that's where the Argos will jam him up. A big opportunity here for Ethan John.
Yeah, it certainly is. Ethan John, second-round pick out of the University of Windsor. Not the biggest guy, but cerebral, competitive, and has, as you've seen, demonstrated an ability to make plays. Great leader, hard worker. A lot of the talk about him coming out of U of Windsor. American-born, qualifies for national status by virtue of having played 3 years from Windsor and graduated from there.
Mayer in trouble, got away, found a man, but it goes nowhere as he found his running back, Greg Bell, who's been contained for most of the game. Once again, a Darius Pickett in on the tackle.
And Pickett, another one of those guys, because of circumstance, that, as I talked earlier about the Argos free agent class, guy who doesn't show up on the list of what were pending free agents and then the free agent tracker, because he had been released by Ottawa, as they obviously loved him as a player, but decided they wanted to allocate their salary cap space elsewhere into different positions.
Deep drop from Mayer, steps up in the pocket, and once again gets it into the hands of Eberhardt, who is covered well, but able to hang on. He's going to be about a yard short, be 3rd and 1.
Mayer doing a nice job there, just buying a little bit of time.
Don't go for it. I'm not sure they got it, though.
There was not a lot of forward movement there.
Jake Mayer on the quarterback keeper, needed to get to the 46. And that ball's not going to be anywhere near the 46. And that's a turnover on downs as the Argos defense shuts the door.
He ranked among some of the great Argo coaches historically in terms of those Grey Cup victories.
Taking on a different challenge here in Ottawa.
Yeah, adding the general manager portfolio to his title, obviously well supported by a veteran front office guy in Sean Burt. But having a little more say in some of the personnel decisions than he felt maybe at the end of his time in Toronto. Looking forward to helping shape the roster.
Kelly right over the middle again. Mitel's got it down inside the 15, and Chad Kelly is just picking apart the Ottawa defense this afternoon.
Yeah, and you just get a great look at the levels in coverage here and basically timing the throw as Mitel clears the linebackers, but before he gets to that second wave, essentially the defensive backs.
Now out to Mitel again, finds the 10, looking for the 5, and he's going to bully his way down close to the 5-yard line.
Things heating up a little bit down there.
Move this guy all over your offense. Had a carry last week for 6 yards in Montreal as well. 2nd and 3. Kelly this time hands it off. They'll push it down inside the 5. Looks like it'll be enough for a 1st and goal situation for the Argos.
Yeah, Sam Hicks back in the ball game with that carry.
Late flag coming out here. A little skirmish after the whistle. And it might be marked just short of a 1st down. Officials will discuss this. Kelly still just has 3 incompletions today. He's 21 of 24, 382 yards, 4 touchdowns.
After the play was over, we've got a misconduct UR against Toronto. First, we're going to check if 1st down has been made.
All right, so they're going to measure for the 1st down, but here's a look at the penalty.
A little bit of pushing and shoving. Dakota Shepley getting into it with Niles Morgan a little bit after there had been some beaking back and forth between Morgan and DeMonte Coxey in the previous play.
Not even close.
After the play was over, unnecessary roughness, Toronto number 64. This is a misconduct penalty. We're going to move the ball back 15 yards from the end of the run, and it will be third down.
So that'll be a field goal attempt coming up for the Argos.
And you see the frustration for head coach Mike Miller as a dead ball foul and that unnecessary roughness penalty takes you out of a situation of being able to go for it when you're in pressing for a touchdown versus being forced to attempt the field goal.
26-yard attempt for Hau'olahu. And that one is right down the middle. It's a 18-point ball.
So you read that promo like somebody who knew what he was talking about.
Well, I really liked the first season, and then, you know, kids and work, and we haven't been able to follow up on it, but
understood.
Love the original. Love the first season of that one. Got to get caught up on it. How can you not like fire-breathing dragons? Perfect. Mayer under fire here on the run, out to his right, dumps it over the top, too much on it, and that falls incomplete. Once again, looking for the running back, Greg Bell.
Yeah, tough to get just the right touch on that one. Jonathan Kongbo again in hot pursuit. Mayer essentially has to kind of fade away from the line a little bit as he's trying to drop this one in over top of a defender to hit his running back.
We saw it last night in the hammer. You can't settle for field goals against Bo Levi Mitchell right now, and I think I'd say the same thing here. You cannot settle for field goals against Chad Kelly.
Yeah.
Ottawa number 13.
Now a time count.
Remains second down.
Against the Red Blacks, and that leads to a round of boos here at TD Place. Just with
booze is enduring, not a round of alcohol.
Yeah, no, not yet. Second and 15 for Mayer. He'll have 4 receivers to his wide side right. Dumps it off as they try to set something up for Bell. And there's a flag on the play, a couple of them actually. One in the secondary, and then one back. It looks like a hold against Ottawa as things go from bad to worse for the home team.
Ottawa number 61. That penalty is declined. Third down.
And right in the foreground of your screen, I would say that the grab on the front of the shoulder pads, the pull, the headlock. No, borderline call. But
No, you're not going to get away with that one, you don't think? Sometimes I just wish they'd let the play do it. Not on that one. That was pretty clear.
Yeah.
Cut and dry.
The sleeper hold was a dead giveaway.
You want trio? All right.
Short return there. We are just getting started on TSN today as Super Saturday will continue next as Edmonton will host the Alouettes as advertised. Montreal looks so far this year, and then the reigning champions, the Riders, will head into Calgary to face the Stampeders. Stamps coming in off a bye, and we'll see what they've got. Their defense starting to get healthy, and that'll change things for the Stampeders, I believe.
Big day in the CFL.
It's been a big day for Chad Kelly so far. He'll hand it off to Smith. Smith will push it ahead. He's a big back, 6'1", 230 pounds. Isaiah Smith. Bit of a different look from the 5'9", 190 of Hicks.
And here you'll see him lower the shoulder a little bit into contact. Bringing it.
Certainly not going to shy away. We saw him take a couple good blows on that 20-yard catch he had earlier in the game as well. Stands in to the right of Kelly. Kelly gets that one away, finds a hole in the defense. It's Mittal again, and he's got another first down. It's going to put him over 170 yards. What a day.
Yeah, we asked Kevin Mittal when we spoke to him this week, as he lines up as the number 3 receiver out of the slot, out to that wide side. It's a little bit of a clearing route in front of him. Kelly finds him underneath, but asked him after a 100-catch season last year, what do you have planned for an encore? I don't know, maybe he has his eyes on that Mookie Mitchell Argo record, 160.
Back on the ground with Smith. Looks like they give him 9. I have to think one of the things, and he's off to a great start to the year, but 1,000 yards is certainly going to be within striking distance for him this year with a healthy Chad Kelly. Nothing against Arbuckle, who had a great year last year too, but Kelly looks to have a really good connection with Mittal.
Yeah, well, and it seems like, as we talked about early, as he opened this third quarter, catching the deep ball, you expect that to be a more significant part of his role within this offense as well. That, last year he had a ton of catches, but not a ton of yards relative, right, to the number of catches, as he was catching a lot of the underneath stuff and the bubble screens and so on. But you throw in a few more deep balls, and 1,000 is well within his reach.
Back-to-back 100-yard games to start the season. Second and short. They'll go back to the ground, and Smith's got a first down for Toronto with 30 seconds on the clock here in the third quarter.
Got to look at the work of that offensive line. Mittal as well, coming in to help out in that blocking scheme. Quick cut back to the outside.
This time wrapped up immediately. Carter read that well, was all over it. Nowhere to go for Smith that time.
The Argos work their way into field goal range. Ottawa now having forced that second and long. They don't want to let this game get away from them. At this point, down 18. Don't want to risk giving up more than a 3 here.
Second and 10. Kelly over the middle again, and that is taken away. What a play defensively. Cormier, now it's out, bouncing around, and Ottawa gets on top of it. Jakir Brown paying attention.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. First down, Ottawa. Toronto is charged a timeout, and they're out of challenge.
So Ottawa has allowed 34 points this game, but their defense has made some plays. Their offense has not been able to capitalize after those turnovers.
Yeah, this is it. Big opportunity here. They've got to make the most of it.
Got to turn the tide right here. That's not going to help. Pimpleton blown up. Judge was all over that from the moment that ball was snapped.
And this is what makes Cameron Judge one of the most impactful defenders in the Canadian Football League. The guy does so many different things well. Just from the edge of the box, lined up as the weak side linebacker, but getting out to make the play on the receiver. Untouched. The recognition and the reaction to get there and make a huge play.
Second and 11. Mayer lays it out. Incomplete. Eberhardt wanted a flag, and he got it.
And not much doubt on this one, as you could see. Eberhardt working from his wide receiver spot on this one, trying to break to the inside.
Defensive pass interference, Toronto number 35. The ball will be placed where the infraction occurred. Automatic first down.
See Eberhardt from the outside, eventually breaking it in. And just as the ball is en route, collision occurs. Not convinced it was intentional, but nonetheless, he's kind of walled off from getting to the ball. You see the safety there, Ethan John. He's kind of watching the receiver, but not really aware that the ball was in the vicinity.
Well, can they take advantage of this? They'll lay it out, and that one incomplete. Pressure was coming. Jake felt it, threw it up to Gino in a one-on-one, but it was played well by McFadden.
I was going to say it was played well by Gino, who was in full DB mode on that one. Yeah.
McFadden had 6 interceptions last year.
Yeah, you'll see at the tail end of this when Gino's not about catching the ball, he's about making sure Tavares McFadden doesn't get to it.
Roll reversal for Gino Lewis. 2nd and 10 from the Toronto 32. Redblacks got to get some points here. Mayer, end zone shot. Eberhardt, oh, he went up, but he could not come down with it. Would have been spectacular if he could have held on to that one.
A tremendous late adjustment to the football by Eberhardt. You get a great look at this one as Mayer's going to loft it up just right of that goal post. Eberhardt makes a hard cut underneath, goes airborne over top of John, who had slipped on the play. But just off the contact, couldn't quite contort his body in a way that allowed him to get his hands on it.
Here's a completion up to midfield. How many times have we said that today? Chad Kelly has another 400-yard game against Ottawa. He's got 4 now in his career, 3 against the Redblacks, and back-to-backs to start the season. Kelly now hit, lays it out, and taken away again. 3rd interception of the game for the Ottawa defense. This time it's Scott Hutter. They just can't do anything with it once they get it back. And that's not good news. Mital is down, and they look at his right leg. Disastrous. 178 yards, 8 catches. Well, it's been an eventful afternoon for Kelly. He's thrown 3 interceptions. And the good news is that Mital walked off on his own. Here's another look at the interception. Hutter went up and got it. Pinball does not like it.
And he likes everything.
He is usually a very happy man. That's right. Problem is, as they go back to Greg Bell, is that despite all these turnovers, the Redblacks offense has not been able to consistently move the ball.
Yeah, and, I started to talk about it a little bit earlier, but you think about the quarterback play in the Canadian Football League, and it is one of the things that really stands out this year. I mean, you've got a 9-team league in which 3 of the quarterbacks have been in the league since 2012. Veteran guys, Grey Cup champions, a collection of MOPs between them.
2nd and 4. Mayer one-on-one, far side. They got it to midfield. Needed that one, Pimpleton.
Yeah, and just to continue that thought, I mean, that's, Bo Levi Mitchell, Zach Collaros, Trevor Harris, established star veteran players. You've got Nathan Rourke, who's been an MOP, Chad Kelly, who's been an MOP. You've got Cody Fajardo, who's been an MOP finalist and a Grey Cup champion.
A lot of great quarterbacks all across the league. This time they'll get it to Hardy. Pickett there to wrap them up.
Yeah, just so much depth at the position that you're trying to keep up, right, with the scoring and veteran guys at that level. And obviously, as I mentioned, all those guys, I mean, that's overlooking Davis Alexander, who's never lost a regular season game.
He's also 13-0. Wide open. Eberhardt with the day he's had. How does that happen? Takes it down, up and
He's feeling it. You know, in this situation as he goes for the high hurdle. Got a little bit of that. I could do anything today feeling, and he's done just about anything.
You know you're cooking when you're trying to jump over a man standing straight up. Here's Mayer, pump fake. Now he's going to lay one out. Broken up. Oh, he was looking for Pimpleton. But the Argos defense said, no, 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 not today. And they batted away.
And you're going to see the corner on that side. Benji Franklin. He's playing short initially, but as the ball gets in the air, he's going to drop off to help out his defender coming from the inside and make a play on that ball.
Second and 10. Mayer. Near side. Hardy wrapped up. Pickett was all over him. And that'll bring up third down. Field goal team not heading on the field right now. 3rd and 6. Down by 15 with 9 to play.
That's it. Only so many possessions available. And you're the Ottawa REDBLACKS.
Back up a bit. Back up a bit.
Struggling to really slow down that Toronto offense. So in this close, they got to take the opportunity to try and get a major.
3rd and 6 from the Toronto 16. Don't need the end zone. You need 6 to keep this drive alive. And flags fly.
Time count violation.
Oh.
Ottawa number 13. 5-yard penalty. It remains 3rd down.
Trying to draw him off.
Yeah.
Didn't work. Toronto held strong, and now they'll settle for another field goal attempt. 28-yarder. Wow, there's 4 for 4 today. This would be 5 of 5 just inside the right hash. And have yourself a day. Brett Lawther. Unfortunately, going to need 4 more of those to tie this thing up.
As it seems to be, they're relying on Lawther a little bit too much for the points at this stage.
Kelly has 5 incompletions. 3 of them went to the other team. We'll see if he can dial it in once more and maybe seal this away. They'll go on the ground to get us started. That's Sam Hicks. And Hicks will get about 3 yards on that first down carry.
And I'm not sure if playing it safe is really something that is in Chad Kelly's repertoire here, right? You think that they may want to slow it down, grind it out a little bit, keep that clock running, but you know, 24 completions, over 400 yards on the day. Chad Kelly wants to let it rip.
Ungerer out to the bottom of your screen, trips up to the top for Kelly. And he's got a completion. It's common. CJ Rivas made the tackle, and they're going to be about a yard short.
Yeah, a bit of a cluster look from the Toronto Argonauts. Tyler Common at the head of that. It's going to work underneath.
Oh, this is close. Needed to find the 50. And it looks like he had just enough. They're going to measure it. This would be a massive turnover on downs here. Ottawa's defense was able to hold, but Kelly's They got the job done a couple of times today here in short yardage, and they've got it again.
Yeah, and I think from the Ottawa bench, I think they had a pretty good view down the line that they were starting to shuffle defensive personnel as opposed to sending offensive guys on the field. That I think they, even before the measurement happened, kind of recognized that this was going to go in the Argos' favor.
Clock ticks down inside 7.
We're good.
And once again on the ground. Ball pops out. Ottawa says they have it. And it is in the hands of Niles Morgan, but looked like Hicks was down for sure.
The ball carrier was down with contact.
He was down pretty quickly here. It wasn't like a big push.
I do admire Niles Morgan's commitment, though, to follow through and run that one all the way to the end zone.
He did take it all the way back. Just in case, Dwayne.
Yeah.
Just in case. Kelly, oh my goodness! Picked off again! 4th of the game, this time it's Hutter. And Ottawa's defense keeping them in this game. Chad Kelly. Number 64 right there.
And there you see Shepley just at the top of the letter C.
And that is his second one, so he's ejected from the game. The last 3 Toronto drives have all ended in interceptions, as Kelly's amazing day has turned into a what's going on type of day. And now Jake Mayer, he's going to take off right up the middle, and he'll slide inside the 30. Less than 6 to go. They got to find Majors. That goes for 13.
And I love this. Not a big part of Jake Mayer's game, but if they give it to you, you got to take it. He recognizes that to move the sticks.
Now, quickly, Gino Lewis. And he is wrapped up. D'Arcangelo is there. They got about 9. And it'll be 2nd and a yard.
Yeah, quick hitter here to Gino coming underneath.
Now they'll give it to Bell, and he picks his way through that defensive front, and he's got a first down for Ottawa.
Ottawa REDBLACKS certainly recognizing the urgency here. Bit of no huddle mode, conserving time on that clock, as they're going to need another possession either way.
From the Toronto 17, Mayer to the end zone, misses everybody. Not sure if Keelan White was expecting that throw to the back of the end zone. 2nd and 10.
You see White lined up in the slot, number 3 receiver. Out to the left. Yeah, read that a little differently, I think, as the safety came over than his quarterback did.
Cam Judge being escorted off the field by the Argos training staff. Seems to be okay as he jogs off. And the clock ticks towards 4.5 minutes. Jake Mayer, 22 of 34, 257, touchdown, and an interception. Has 3 receivers to his left. That's where he looks. Now he dumps it off to Bell. Bell's going to find the 10, and he's wrapped up. Great open field tackle by D'Arcangelo. And Bell is frustrated. He thought he had more cooking there.
And Bell looking to get in a little bit of space. Led all Canadian Football League running backs in receptions from the backfield last season.
Timeout, Ottawa.
Dinwiddie has called a timeout. It'll be 3rd and a couple of yards here to keep their hopes alive.
You See the check down to Bell. We've seen him with a couple of great cutbacks, making people miss in the ground game there, but D'Arcangelo does a nice job in space to contain the elusive Greg Bell on that one.
Team best 8th tackle of the game. But D'Arcangelo has a knockdown as well. 3rd and 3. Jake Maier trying to keep this drive alive, trying to keep their hopes in this game alive. They'll hand it off. Bell pushing it ahead, breaks some tackles and takes it down inside the 5. One of his best carries of the whole game.
Yeah, they bottled him up pretty well in the ground game, but Bell manages to slip through here at a critical time to set the Red Blacks up in a short yardage situation. Ball on the 1 yard line.
Prior to that, his longest carry had been 4 yards.
Yeah.
The whole game. That one goes for 9 and gets him down to the 1. Now Ethan John is up and limping off the field. He's already into the game to replace Robert Priester, who left and did not return in the first half. So they're running thin in the secondary.
Yeah, a little further shuffling, fortunately, I guess, at a time where it's the short yardage team, so you can replace a defensive back with something other than another DB.
Another high-scoring affair here early, on brand for what we've seen in the league so far this season. 1st and goal from the Toronto 1. They'll go from the gun. Maier, Pimpleton, incomplete. 2nd and goal.
You know, they had the play set up perfectly. The flaw to me was in the timing. You're going to see Pimpleton comes across the formation. You're anticipating man coverage in this part of the field. So someone trying to track Pimpleton all the way across the formation. Benji Franklin gets bumped off by another receiver. But the timing of that rush coming upfield affects Maier's ability to lead Pimpleton where he wants to go with that football.
2nd and goal from the 1. In the gun again. Maier gets it away. And it's incomplete. Was looking for Everhart. It was a little bit behind him. What do you think of the 2 play calls here from the 1 yard line?
Yeah, I don't mind the play calls because I appreciate some creativity in short yardage, right? The Argos are down a couple of DBs. They've obviously got some big bodies on the field, so theoretically you can put them at a little bit of a disadvantage by trying to make them play in space with people who aren't anticipating that. I think the plays have resulted in...
Yet in the nation's capital, Ottawa trying to stay alive. Got to find the end zone here. 3rd and goal from the 1. They'll hand it off, pushing it towards the end zone. Is he there? Oh, it's so close.
I don't
so
think
close.
So.
The Argos, though, did they stop him? It looked like Adebaboye was going to get there, and they sort of flattened him out.
Yeah, they led with the fullback Gosselin to that side. You see Adebaboye up into the line, but I don't think that line dented enough.
Ruling on the field was the ball carrier did not cross the goal line or did not break the plane of the goal line.
Yeah, like parts of his body broke the plane of the goal line, but because they had him turned backwards, by that point, the ball didn't get there.
Ball was in his stomach, and his back broke the plane, but the ball just never got there. See Dinwiddie saying, no, that's a touchdown, but body was there, ball was not. Command center says that would be the reason. And the Argos, what a stop by the Toronto defense. Let's give you another look at it here, Dwayne.
And Yeah, you'll see he goes in with some momentum, still pushing, but he is sort of getting turned by the contact. So his butt is across the line and has broken the plane, but the ball never did because they got him turned.
They folded him up, and now Kelly throwing in the direction of Houston, who had a read on that one, and it's incomplete. And Ottawa will get the ball back here in what we would assume will be very good field position with Pimpleton standing in midfield.
Yeah, I was going to say the bad news is the missed rather massive opportunity to put the ball in the end zone, but the silver lining to that dark cloud is that they should have a short field here. Turn.
Haggerty stands in the middle of his end zone. And he is just going to run around, kill some time, concede a point. Couple points. (34-24) here in Ottawa.
Argos opting to make it a field position game. They'll give them the 2 points. It remains a two-score football game, a two-possession game. Eat up a little bit of time, force them to play on a longer field.
Just 2 minutes and 23 seconds left. Chad Kelly started this game on fire and then went on a stretch of 3 consecutive drives with interceptions that gave the Red Blacks some life. But they've had a hard time finding the end zone in this one. The back-to-back starts, 7 touchdowns, almost 900 yards, but the 4 interceptions today really stands out.
Yeah, it's a game that it looked like the Argos were starting to take control of in the third quarter. But the interceptions have kept the Ottawa REDBLACKS hopes alive.
Have to move quick, trailing by 10. No time to mess around. There is Bell, open to his left, gives it to him, cuts it back at the 40, pushes it ahead, takes it just outside the 45. They'll give him 6 on that first down through the air.
And when you're the Toronto Argonauts in this situation, you just don't want to give up big chunks. Basically force the offense to be inefficient in terms of the clock.
Quick hitter. Gino Lewis, far side, first down Ottawa as they creep towards midfield with 2:09 on the clock.
A solo receiver, top of your screen. Going to work along that sideline, knowing he wants to get out of bounds. Move the sticks, stop the clock.
Lewis, 4 catches for 47 yards this afternoon. Mayer throws it up for him again, and that's taken away. What a play on the near sideline. Benji Franklin went and got it over top of Gino Lewis. Then he gave him the too small Selly after. Turnover filled the fair. That should do it.
And as this ball is in the air, Gino Lewis is caught inside a little bit. Benji Franklin gets outside, just goes over top of him before Gino can make an adjustment. Quite frankly, Franklin adjusted better to the throw than the receiver.
Great play by Franklin. He had 4 interceptions last season. That's a highlight reel INT to start the year for him. And now Toronto will just put it back on the ground and move it ahead to the 35.
Timeout. Ottawa.
You're Jake Mayer. You're seeing Gino one-on-one out there, thinking, okay, yeah, I'll just throw it up. This is what he's made a career out of doing in this league, and he just...
Yeah, jump ball situation that just looked like Gino misjudged it a little bit. You see him trying to settle his feet, and then he's adjusts with that pivot to the outside as he's getting turned to get in position to try and go get it. Benji Franklin's going and getting it.
Yeah, not very often in that situation you don't see Gino leave his feet to try to go get a football.
Yeah.
Let's go.
12 takeaways in 39 CFL games for Benji Franklin. And now pushed ahead just shy of the 40. Sam Hicks. And that'll be 3rd and 1. Kick it away one more time. And we're just getting rolling. Montreal, Edmonton still to come on Super Saturday. Triple header action on TSN.
Should have had t-shirts made, eh? Super Saturday.
Nice I have a t-shirt press.
I actually do too.
We both have t-shirt press?
Yeah.
Wow.
We could have been making them and selling them.
Can't believe we didn't know that about each other.
Yeah.
It's fun. I like having a t-shirt.
Yeah.
It's convenient and fun. Big kick. Haggerty. Pimpleton. You got something here. No, he does not. Ball is out. Toronto's on it. Things go from bad to much, much worse.
Well, the Argo turnovers had become the story of the second half that made it a game. The Red Blacks turnovers are kind of signaling the end of the comeback.
Pimpleton just squeezed out of him as he got gang tackled on the return. And 5 turnovers on each side of this game.
Jack Cassar with the recovery. Special teams demon, linebacker turned fullback.
Ottawa, we talked about it last week, 4 turnovers. Last thing you want to do is have those turnovers. Now they got 5 in this game. 9 turnovers to start the year for Dinwiddie. He's got to be furious. There's an injured Red Black down on the field.
You know, we talked a little bit about the importance of quarterback play this season, the high level of it. But the other thing that we have talked about is sort of an identifying factor of this season, characteristic of this season, is the parity in the league. And so it makes your margin for error small.
Cormier is up and walking off.
Hey, man, you're the one on the replay. Oh, man, I'm on the screen.
Let's watch Cassar and the hustle he's got to get to this ball. And now they'll hand it off down inside the 10. Still going, it's Hicks. That's his best carry of the ball game, goes for 24.
Yeah, you feel like it, you know, this play for Ottawa, they've hung tough. They've done a pretty good job in the run game for most of the day. But you could just feel with the fumble on that last punt return, the air come out of Ottawa's balloons.
Back to Hicks again, nice cut, and he finds the end zone. Final nail in the coffin of the Red Blacks comes from Sam Hicks, and he's got his first career touchdown.
Back-to-back, couple nice runs from the first-year running back, Sam Hicks. Nice lateral step there, bounces it to the outside. Just manages to fight through the safety, Scott Hutter, into the end zone to close it out.
Araulahu makes it a 17-point ball game. with just 70 seconds left.
2 great runs. Way to close.
Highly entertaining but somewhat sloppy affair here at TD Place.
There you see Sam Hicks closing it out. Wait for the celebration, though. Wait for the selling. Clears out the teammates a little bit.
Oh,
right?
That's intense. I don't physically think I could do that. So Toronto about to find the win column for the first time this year. Put up a great fight against Montreal. They actually surrendered 20 points to the Alouettes in the fourth quarter of the game last Friday night. So I think Argos fans have to be pretty happy with what they've seen so far. Do they like the 4 interceptions? No, but your quarterback threw 4 interceptions. You still hung 41 on Ottawa. REDBLACKS about to fall to 0-2 after a season last year where they won just 4 games. Pimpleton looking for some redemption. He can fly, no doubt about it. They're going to track him down and force him out at the 30.
Minutes to go. Now a 3-possession game, 3-possession lead for the Toronto Argonauts.
Jake Mayer on the sideline. And they'll throw Duggan in at quarterback to wrap this one.
Duggan had a stint with the Toronto Argonauts last season, released in training camp this year.
And he'll slide ahead. What'd you think of Mayer today?
There were flashes, right? You look at the connection developing between he and Aiden. They had a pretty big day.
That was by far the brightest spot of the day offensively. That one in behind White, incomplete. You got to be. So they had Drew Brown. They brought in Jake Mayer. They anoint him the #1. You got to let that play out here for a bit, don't you?
Yes, you do. You do. I mean, it's a lot of turnovers, but I don't think you're really looking at Jake Mayer's game and saying he failed to take care of the football. You know, I mean, it's, as I said, the offenses are clicking at a high level this year across the league.
And that one incomplete via turnover on downs with 42 seconds left on the clock. Offenses are clicking. I mean, 65 more points here today. Coming into the week, the average had been 59 so far this season. And we always ask the question. I asked it in week 1 when I was doing a game with Suits in Calgary. You know, which side of the ball is the advantage early in the year?
Yeah.
And I mean, undoubtedly, it's been the offense so far in the CFL this year.
Yeah, and, you know, I mean, sometimes it can have to do with the fact that, I mean, neither side has a lot of film on anybody in terms of new wrinkles and so on at an early stage of the season. But it seems like the offense is the side that has been able to exploit that more, maybe throw some things at defenses they're not expecting more than the other way around. And they're able to do that again, like as we talk about short training camps and getting ready to go. A lot of times there's a feeling that the offenses need more time to get ready. But I just think that we have a level of quarterbacking and going a step further, a level of experience in quarterbacking that offenses are able to kind of jump in at a fairly high level in a short time.
And they'll let the clock run now, and Mike Miller has his first win as a head coach in the Canadian Football League in impressive fashion. 41-24, your final.